power brokers in command of the city live in the original parts that are the most comfortable, removed, and densely shielded from the outside world. A supershell of armor is built blanketing the entire city to provide cover for the civilians and more noticeably to the defense and intelligence industry which has taken over. When it is necessary for them to move, usually to go to work, they move through improvised paths which lead to larger city-built evacuation corridors which are patrolled and monitored for thieves, saboteurs, and insurgents. Given the risks associated with exposing themselves, the civilians tend to live close, if not directly adjacent to where they work. The rest of the civilians exist at the margins and in between the layers and cracks. They adapt to the situation to the best of their advantage. They construct their own living units as groups with family and others that they trust. They sprout up in an opportunistic manner where they can ideally latch onto structure, where it is most safe, or simply where there is space. Even though these units exist unregulated, they are known by the government and allowed to exist because of their necessity. For this reason, they are known as ILUs, or improvised living units. In order to maintain some stability in these constructions and to provide a minimal standard of protection for its inhabitants, the city would build jackets over a layer of ILUs after they had built up. These jackets were sublayers of protection which also doubled as substructure the city could use to attach circulation and infrastructure to. ILUs originally began to spring up after the first PZ-1 was created by the addition of a second supershell to the entire city. After the erection of the second supershell, industry claimed large volumes for their use, and the ILUs moved in right next to them. Taking advantage of this covering, they began to cluster to the first supershell, using it as their structure. As the city builds upon itself, it follows the same pattern. Another supershell is created in the response to credible threats in the industry, and then ILUs move into the newly created PZ. This continues until the city has become a dense and complex terrain. Difficult, if not impossible to navigate and map without proper intelligence, the grid has been completely obliterated. The fabric of the city has become camouflaged by its ambiguity and complexity. Potential threat is deterred by the difficulty in mobility, identification of any critical locations, and heavy fortification.